your background, and I guess they're proud, but they're really f***ed up.
Have you ever heard of the Romanoffs?
Of course. The Russian royal family.
Yes. I'm a descendant.
I'm a Romanov, and you're just pretending.
I'll never understand why people are impressed.
It's history.
This is all I want, for the line to continue.
Well, you'd think that royal blood dilutes over time, but the poison survives.
The trick to really good storytelling, too, is not knowing where it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to do this as intuitively as possible, and for me, I just, like, how do you stand out in this landscape right now? And I like the idea of embracing genre, which is not something I traditionally do, and then having these sort of jewels that were thematically related to each other, that were derived basically from what I felt was our collective national low self-esteem. I was like, I mean, it can't be like this. I must have been somebody great at some point. And people's obsession with that. And then we got to basically get great storytellers in the room, and just, you know, Amazon supported it. And I was like, I want to give somebody something new every week. And you just won't know what to expect. The stories will be unusual. They're very intuitive. So it was just like, honestly, for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and they're all connected to the Romanoff family in one way or another in contemporary terms.
Yes, I mean, they're about people who may or may not be related to the Romanoffs, but our national obsession with 23andMe and where do I come from and was I great and
The royal family.
the royal family, and like I actually, you know, I do have some status. I liken it to the Kennedys. Everyone's like, well, I don't really believe in any of that stuff. I mean, America's not like that. I'm like, if I told you I was related to the Kennedys, you'd understand what the show was about. And then that was sort of a format in which to tell like how we're connected to each other, how family extends beyond borders, how people with different languages are related to each other. And I think as you watch the entire series, you start to see a character emerge of the personality of the Romanoffs that I think is something related to what America is like right now, not to get too heady about it. And then I get to write a part and like have somebody come, and I know this is bragging, but like, have somebody come and like live in Prague and like make a movie with Christina Hendricks where she gets killed.
Two extraordinary performances here. What was it like, obviously, the question, working with Isabelle Huppert?
There was one night, so we hadn't maybe fully worked together. We did a couple days in a little city outside of Prague, and so we had to go move to a different hotel, and I was with my makeup artist, and we were having dinner, and Isabelle came and sat at a table next to us, and I was terrified. I was like, like, if you want to be by yourself, that's totally cool, but like, would you like to have dinner with us? She's like, yeah, no, yeah. And like, sat down and was like, so cool and nice, and I was like, what's, you know, this and this, like, and then when we were on set, she was just, like, so collaborative and kind, and, you know, I think, like, the times, I mean, I've had the opportunity to work with the most extraordinary actors, but sometimes the ones that I'm most intimidated by, I am surprised at just how down-to-earth and cool and collaborative, and they just want to work, and I felt that way with her.
I just had this idea of these like two redheads like squaring off. Yeah. And you know, and I like the idea. I like the meta part of it. I don't remember if it's Alan Ayckbourn or some writer said that being an actor is like being a mushroom. They keep you in the dark and then they open the door and throw a bucket of shit on you. And honestly, I mean, I hope people enjoyed this part of it. We talked about it all the time. I like the idea of doing a absolutely carefree, inaccurate historical interpretation of something after having worked on Mad Men for 8 years.